Egypt is responsible user for outer space, having the ability to carry outer space missions, serving the national development and security objectives, and component of being an active member in global space initiatives.
This is a lab mainly. By the name, we do functional testing for the satellite. First, just in short, first we do something called autonomous test, which is first we take each subsystem by its own self, and we implement all the tests that we must do. There are certain steps. If they pass these steps, then we can turn into the integration test. This means that we put all the subsystems together, integrate it together, and we test it. If they work, this means that the integration is completed. After that, if it passes, we turn it to the environmental testing.
Okay, how complicated or facilitated is this process?
Of course, we should not have any type of we have a little tolerance, but mainly no errors. First, by the way, we use LabVIEW tools and NI instruments, which is really good in our in our field. We mainly use these,
Okay, Maha, tell us more about satellites and the importance of satellites and, of course, the importance of the Egyptian Space Agency in Cairo, in Egypt, and the future of satellites.
Okay, first of all, this plays a very major role here in Egypt. It's very important, of course, in many ways. By the way, satellites have many advantages. Like, for example, we can use it in communication. We may explore the space. We may many things, which is, by the way, called payload. This is like very important here in Egypt. I'm here for testing. Okay, let's talk about it generally. First of all, each group, whether it's payload or communication or power, each group makes its own product, which is called a subsystem. For example, there's power subsystem, communication subsystem, payload subsystem. If it's payload, it may be a camera, it may be a communication, something of that kind. So when each of these subsystems produce their own product, which is it might be a board. If it's a small satellite, it'll be like in a 10 by 10. Our role is to make our tests on these boards. If, for example, I see the interfaces, the protocols, if I send a command, I check the reply if it's correct or not. If it passes all this, then I turn into the other step, which is called the the integrated test, which means I combine these subsystems together to make a system together, and this is a satellite, which I see the bus from which this subsystem communicates with this subsystem. I see this bus. If the things are right in it, no errors in it, then it goes on to the other step. This is what mainly I do.
Okay, do I understand from this complicated, of course, difficult mission that you're doing, that Maha, you oversee all the different laboratories that we saw now in this wonderful place, the Egyptian Space Agency. Do you oversee them and you work based upon this?
Not really. I don't really interfere in their work. Like, for example,
so they're a separate entity and they discuss different topics and they touch different topics, the laboratories.
Okay, look, for example, first of all, there's a certain satellite which is meant to be done. First of all, there are requirements made by the system engineer or something like that. From these requirements, each subsystem produces their own product based on these requirements. When they accomplish this board, then we will make these tests on them to make sure that they have accomplished these requirements. This is what is meant by test.
The dream has become a reality, and the responsibility of the agency's employees has become great, but all of them hope and will spare no effort to make Egypt a leader country in the field of space science and technology. Shiro Bakir, Nile Cruise.
Dream Space is a cartoon, dear viewers, that is due to be aired in Ramadan, and it is related to satellites and space agency and everything that we brought in today's episode of Nile Cruise. Dear viewers, of course, this cartoon is for kids and young calibers to know more about satellites, but in a way to make them love the idea of satellites and space agency and to understand more about it through a very light way, instead of complicating it or learning it at school in a complicated way. And it was a very wonderful idea, so we thought that we should bring you part of it, right, Ahmed?
Yes, let's see parts of the cartoon Space Dream.
المرة دي مش سهلة أبداً، محتاجة صبر وقوة تحمل.
وكالة الفضاء المصرية طالبة تشغيل أجهزة إرسال هوائية في منطقة البقعة المظلمة الزرقاء.
يبقى هنكون على كوكب نبتون؟
ده حقيقي، لأنها واحدة من أهم العلامات المميزة للكوكب.